Welcome back to Rising 8 Minis. In this video, I'm going to be reviewing a £30 paint mixer. Enjoy! Luke from Geek Gaming Scenics has a really funny video on this topic, in which he discusses the idea of a Yorkshireman spending £100 on a paint shaker. Now, I'm not a Yorkshireman. I'm from Manchester, which is the right side of the Pennines, but I'm still equally mean, and so there's no way I'd spend £100 on a paint shaker. So I did what I usually do when I'm looking for cheap stuff, particularly electronics, is I found AliExpress. Had a hunt around, and I found the INTLLAB. So I had a hunt around, and I found the INTLLAB paint shaker for £30.78. So I ordered it, and here's what I think. For all of those who want me to just get to the actual review, fair enough. Here it is. Spoiler alert, it's fine. As Luke says in his video, it's a paint shaker. It shakes paint. That's it. You're all adults. You can decide whether you want to spend £30 or £100 on a paint shaker or not, and whether you think that's worth saving just doing this for 30 seconds. I actually think it probably is, but like I say, I'll do a more thorough review. So in this review, I shake by hand for 30 seconds and I mix using a paint shaker for 30 seconds. Then I compare the results. I don't think you could get a fairer result than that. All the paints have been on my shelf for about a week and a half, something like that, without being used, so they're about as settled as you can get, or as my paints get anyway. And like I say, we'll see what we get. Don't forget, if you're enjoying this, you can subscribe to the channel, drop a like, or ask any questions down in the comments below. Okay, so these are just bottles straight off the shelf, and I'm very quickly laying them out. You can see they're coming out really watery because they've just stood there and all the pigments have separated. Obviously they've separated different levels because there's different pigments. Some weigh more than others. Some will have separated more than less. That yellow is actually pretty good for some reason. I'm not quite sure why. I've not used it for ages and ages and ages. So quickly just spread them out and you can see the difference. Those fluorescent colours are very, very thin, but they often are, whereas the other colours are, like I say, varying degrees of separation. So 30 seconds of each pot, vigorously shaking, just like that. Swapping around paint to paint to paint. My actually hands start getting quite tired at this point, so that's one downside to shaking it relentlessly. But then again, you don't normally shake multiple pots up, just to usually use them as you go. So, like I say, and I wouldn't normally shake for about 30 seconds. The other thing I should say is all the paint pots have actually got two agitator balls in them as well. So, same process again. 30 seconds, jump onto the paint shaker. You have to work quite hard to hold it in place, and if you're doing multiple pots like this, the vibrations travel up through your fingers and it actually becomes a little bit uncomfortable after a while. Maybe I'm just being a pansy, I'm not sure, but yeah, again, you wouldn't be doing lots and lots of paint pots all in one go anyway, so it's probably less of an issue. I also find it's easier and makes less vibrations if you use the palm of your hand, press it all down. That's a lot easier that way too. So we're just going to wait for the end of that testing to happen, then we're going to do it all again. So the purpose of this is literally just to give each one of them an equal amount of time, just so we can see the difference between what a difference the shaking and the paint mixer makes. So let's have a look. So you can see it's made a marked difference, particularly on the fluorescent paints, which are much thinner, so it's brought them back up quite quickly. I actually think, on reflection, looking at some of these, I would actually do them a little bit longer, maybe a minute or so. So whether it's worth it or not, well, like I say, you're adults, I'll leave it to you. I'm pretty impressed with the results, and I didn't have to stand there shaking it, and I didn't get tired, but the vibrations were a bit of an issue. The paints all turned up nice and easy though, so there you go, voila. One neat trick though I found, which made it a lot easier, is if you use a little paint tray like this, like I use for mixing up airbrush paints, and then put your paint on top of that, it's much easier to keep the paint pressed in, and you can just use the palm of your hands. The vibration issue almost entirely disappears, and, like I say, really even mixing through. So yeah, so there you go. Hope you enjoyed the little tip towards the end. Like I say, if you like this video, make sure you subscribe, give us a like, or drop a comment if you've got any more questions down below. If you want to support me further, there's some links down below you can follow. For example, if you want to go and shop at Element Games, I've got an affiliate link. Click on that and I get a bit of a kickback. It's always appreciated. Through the course of the week, I'm going to continue to drop out the Space Marine videos, which I've been steadily editing and working my way through. So we've got the basing and undershading video coming out, and then we'll also have the antique gold recipe coming out too. Stay tuned.